What is going on, guys? How are you all doing? We finally have Spider-Verse issue 2. Now, Spider-Verse issue 1 was actually almost 2 months ago, or over 2 months ago. Either way, it was a long time ago, and I was actually doing a giveaway for Spider-Verse issue 1, and I asked you guys which other Spider-Man would you like to see in Spider-Verse, and because it was so long ago, I'm just going to choose a random comment because, I mean, it doesn't really matter that much anymore because it was so long ago. So here is my random choice, and it is Bohan Patuere. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether I pronounced that right, but forgive me if I pronounced it wrong, but congratulations, you won the giveaway for Spider-Verse issue 1. Now, I will be sending you your digital code within 24 hours. You can contact me on my Facebook page by going to the link in the description, or I can private message you over YouTube. But yes, so that will be within 24 hours. Congratulations for winning. Now, sadly, I do not have a giveaway for this issue, but I am doing giveaways for other issues like The Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2099 and stuff like that, so go and check those out. But guys, I think it's time to jump into this issue because, in all honesty, this is the most confusing Spider-Verse issue that I have ever read. There's some characters in this issue that don't even make sense, but maybe you guys can let me know in the comments below who some of these characters are. But yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so this issue actually starts with Video Game Spider-Man, and it's actually quite humorous, with the Marlin being what seems to be probably the most powerful and unbeatable boss in a video game, and you just get a nerdy Peter Parker just stood there like, what the heck, like, as he dies in one punch. But this comic, as I've already said, goes into like multiple different stories, just like the previous Spider-Verse comic, issue 1, and it is the most confusing story that I have ever read in a Spider-Man comic. Well, at least this part is anyway. So we are introduced to a character called Anansi, and I'm not entirely quite sure whether he's a Spider-Man, whether he's a spider totem or anything like that, but apparently he's a storyteller or something along those lines. And as you can see, this universe is pretty crazy. Like, you can have talking sheep, you have talking animals, you have like whatever the storm is talking, a bloody tornado is talking. And in my opinion, going off, like, if you look at the art of Spider-Man UK, I do not like the appearance of Spider-Man UK in this comic book. His shoulders look like they were about 3 times the width of his body, which just doesn't make sense. But anyway, now we're going into a little bit more of the action side of things, and what looks to be a giant tiger just takes off with Spider-Man UK, and he's basically been told that Spider-Man UK cannot talk, he cannot interrupt the storyteller. And I'm not entirely sure, I've only read through this comic once because it was a little bit confusing to me, but I think that he was actually just messing with him. I don't actually think that Spider-Man UK had to be quiet. I think Anansi was just messing about with him, you know, just pretending that he couldn't talk and stuff like that. And yeah, so this universe in this comic just did not make sense. Obviously it was just kind of like a bit of a mess about like something to add in, but I do recognise Anansi's name. Like, where has Anansi come from before, guys? Let me know in the comments below, because I definitely recognise the name. I don't know whether this is a universe that's been known to before, but yeah, slightly confused. But anyway, Anansi's putting a village inside his like cup vase thing, which does. Anyway, going on to the most popular universe that I've actually previewed on my Facebook page last week, we actually have Punk Spider-Man, and this universe is actually really interesting. It's being overrun with the president, who is in fact Norman Osborn in this universe, and the police officers and everyone else is kind of overrun with the Venom symbiote, or the actual SWAT team are known as Venom. Like, you know, like how S.H.I.E.L.D. are known as S.H.I.E.L.D., where these guys are known as Venom. And I actually thought this was awesome. I absolutely love the art in this comic. I mean, you even have a kind of Captain America kind of guy going on there. And what is so awesome about this issue is because, if I understand correctly, because that's like the Venom is overrun by the Venom symbiote, what I understand is that they play music and use the vibrations of the music to get rid of the symbiote off the humans or something like that. And it's actually awesome. I've said awesome like 4 times now, haven't I? But it's kind of really confusing. I absolutely love the art. I love the font that they've used in like the character's speech. I love the look of Spider-Man, like punk Spider-Man. He's got the jacket, he's got the spikes on his mask. I mean, he is really suited up his Spider-Man costume. And as you can see, I actually thought that it was Miles Morales at first, but it's actually Hobie Brown. Now, guys, right at this moment, like right at this second, I cannot remember who Hobie Brown is, but I do know, or at least I vaguely kind of remember Hobie Brown maybe going to school with Peter Parker or something like that, or he's in the Marvel Universe. I cannot remember it right now, and it's driving me crazy, but I do know that that's a popular character. But yeah, so anyway, going on to an alternate universe again, we actually go to a different Spider-Man who seems a little bit more violent, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. Like, later on in the comic, he actually interrogates someone by pretending to drop them off a building. Now, of course, that's not very violent. Like, here in this panel now, he's actually pretending to drop him off a building. But usually Spider-Man doesn't do stuff like that. But, of course, the most noticeable thing about this universe is Spider-Man's costume. And I absolutely love it. It kind of looks like it's been tie-dyed a little bit. No, I don't know, but the backstory is that Peter Parker's father was actually a wrestler, and it's kind of a little bit similar to the Daredevil movie, you know, like where his dad was a wrestler and he got killed. It was like that, and then of course, when Peter Parker got bit by the spider, he used his father's boxing costume or wrestling costume as his Spider-Man suit, which I thought was absolutely awesome. And one thing that I actually want to point out and say is that I actually think that the art in this comic is absolutely phenomenal. This is how I think a Spider-Man comic should be, in my opinion. It kind of reminds me of the Ultimate Universe a little bit, just by the Peter Parker's big glasses, I don't know. But, you know, just along those lines, it's really interesting. But as you can see, the jokes and the humorous side of Spider-Man are still there. Even though he's a little bit more aggressive maybe than the other Spider-Man with like his kicks and punches, he still has that humorous side, which I thought was brilliant. And he's actually going after a little girl who's been kidnapped. And going back to the backstory of the comic and Spider-Man's origin in this universe and stuff, I kind of like how this crime kind of ties in with Spider-Man's origin and how his father was killed in the ring, mainly because his teammate didn't jump in and save him. And that is just something that ties into the Daredevil movie as well, because if you remember, when Daredevil's father was killed in the movie, it was because of the Kingpin. It was because the Kingpin of crime and all that awesome stuff and that crazy like backstory and all that is just, it reminds me of Daredevil so much, this issue, and especially this universe as well. Now, that was called the Spirit of the Streets, but now we actually go to the final battle with all of the Spider-Men against the Inheritors, which we should be seeing in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 13. And guys, you asked for it. Miles Morales and the black-suited Spider-Man are in this. However, the black-suited Spider-Man isn't actually wearing the symbiote, it's just his suit is black, like it's just a fabric, but they are both trying to figure out what's different about him, how they've both got exactly the same lives, and they actually say that they saw the guy from Seabiscuit. Now, the guy from Seabiscuit is actually Tobey Maguire, and of course the guy from Social Network is Andrew Garfield, so there's a little Easter egg for you guys who are asking where Andrew Garfield is and Tobey Maguire and stuff like that in the Spider-Verse. But one thing that I'm not sure whether you guys noticed, or maybe you did, was that, you know where they couldn't figure out what was different? If you looked on the red and blue Spider-Man's hand, he actually had a wedding ring on, which means that he is married to Mary Jane. So, well, he's married to someone at least anyway. Gwen Stacy could be as well. But yeah, so that was the little thing about what's different in their universe. And yeah, just I don't know whether you pointed that out, but it was when Spider-Man was putting his glove back on that you could see it. So I absolutely loved the ending of that issue, just where it's shown like a little glimpse of the final battle from the Spider-Verse, and especially because we got a little bit of a nod to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man and Mark Webb's Amazing Spider-Man, and of course Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. But yeah, what did you guys think of this issue overall, and that little Easter egg at the end? And did you guys notice the ring on Spider-Man's finger? Let me know in the comments below. I actually previewed this issue on my Facebook page last week as well, before this issue actually released. So if you've got any time, guys, go to the link in the description and hit the like button on my Facebook page as well. I did actually just preview Miles Morales The Ultimate Spider-Man issue 10, or at least early drawings of it anyway. I'm thinking I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10. I did not even understand the universe with Anansi, but I did not like the look of Spider-Man UK in this issue. His shoulders were massive compared to his body, and yeah, I actually did like the art in the other universes, especially Spider-Punk What? I nearly said Spider-Punk UK then, what the heck? But especially Spider-Punk. Now sadly, Spider-Punk isn't going to be getting his own series. This is the only time we're going to see him. Sadly, I know. Of course we'll see him in Spider-Verse as well, but you know what I mean. We're not going to get like an own series of that. But yeah, so guys, we also have a preview for Silk issue 1, and it looks absolutely awesome. And of course we have Spider-Gwen that's coming out in February 2015. And yeah, so I'm going to be reviewing them series when they first release, so look out for them on my channel in the future. And guys, make sure you hit the like button for this video. Don't forget to go to my Facebook page. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video.